I'm trying to get this done in half an hour, okay? We're trying to do something different. You know, as you can tell, we're trying to do something different because it's a different thing. You can see that the set has changed, okay? It's still Des Shits On, but it's a special edition of Des Shits On. It's called Desy Does Penance. And I'm not even really doing penance. I kind of fucked up with the title because, like, to do penance is like you fucked up and you have to do something about it. It's like, what are you going to do? The priest tells you, you know, if you had a good priest, he says, hey, do 10 Hail Marys. If you had a questionable priest, he says, get down on your knees and do me a favor. Okay, and that's why I'm not doing this to a priest, and I'm just doing this to, I guess I'm doing it to God, right, I guess, but I'm also doing it to the public, but I'm not asking the public for forgiveness. So there's two things going on here. I'm trying to cleanse my soul spiritually, which, you know, it is of no business to any of you, really, and I'm still gonna get fucking murdered for saying the original thing anyway. So that's number one. Number two, I'm cleansing it it's a PR. It's a PR exercise, even though, like I said, you get what you get what's advertised. Des the Degenerate shitting on. That's what you get. Were you expecting fucking Martin Luther King? Were you expecting somebody with like this incredible fucking gift of speech? If you were, then I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. Okay. But so I'm clearing the air publicly too, because I can hear. So this is kind of, it's gonna be half me doing not apologizing, but like, you know, saying I fucked up, and then the other half me defending myself against the onslaught of public rage, which I said won't hit for a while because we haven't dropped these yet. So I'm about to drop these, and this is part of why I wanted to do this whole thing. Because we're gonna drop it, and you know, like I said, with all these things, I shoot from the hip. I have like 5 things on my list max for all these episodes, and they're like words. They're like, yeah, talk about this stuff. There's no scripts. We just go. Okay. Sometimes I try to, you know, sometimes I have a half an hour randomly to myself talking about whatever the fuck in the middle of the week. I talk about seagulls. Okay, and did seagulls evolve from dinosaurs? And you know, were there like what was the seagull kind of dinosaur around at the time? You know, like what was that kind of thing? Like, and who was the cool dinosaur? Who was the quiet one? You know, like if they were in a band, if there was a dinosaur band, you know, like everybody has like a personality. Like which of the, I mean, T-Rex would obviously be like, but was he, you know? But see, I'm not going down this thing. I'm not going down the whole thing of was T-Rex really the alpha, or would there be another dinosaur? Because nobody gives a shit, okay? Long story short, we're going to drop these, okay? So in order to drop these, I need to absolve my soul, and I need to fight back inevitably before all this fucking noise comes in and says, hey, you did this and you said that. Shut your mouth, okay? Like I said, the good thing about this, nobody watching this until 2027, is that we have time. We have time, okay? But these need to get out. These need to go, okay? And that's another thing I just realized. And the Desy NFTs are dropping, okay? The Desy Artiste mode is up and running, and I want to see if I can show some of these to you before we close this out, okay? But let's get to doing penance, or at least, you know, whatever. We'll start with the thing in the corner, okay? You see the thing in the corner? I'm not gonna like just say like it's not that. If you have eyes, you can read what it says. If you don't know what it says, Google it. Okay, that's why we have Google. And if you're listening, you know, whatever, it's okay. It's about our friend Putt. Okay, it's a little Ukrainian flag, and it's a little phrase for our good friend Putt. All right, and now one of the reasons that I started this whole thing is, and then we'll start with there. This is episode 7. Okay, and episode 7, one of the things we were talking about was Russiagate, okay, and Russia, and people saying, oh, the Russia, and then this, and then people taking that to stupid fucking lengths because they have no fucking actual intelligence, but these are people that are valued for their intelligence and insights. Keith Olbermann, correct? Because Keith Olbermann said, I have the stain of Russian heritage in my fucking family. So he's taking this whole thing of like, because the Democrats couldn't fucking admit that they just fucking suck and that they fucked up for years. They couldn't admit that was the reason. Like, oh, Russia hacked the democracy. And then the thing is, here's the thing. Okay, did Putt go into Facebook and start fucking with the numbers, like, and put two groups of people essentially across the street from each other and do it? Of course he did. But first of all, it's an American fucking company. Second of all, when you say he hacked the fucking democracy, you're saying, it's not making it sound like he broke into the machines. Okay, like he broke into the machines and changed the fucking numbers. Did he do that? No. Okay, he didn't do that. But this is the whole boogeyman thing that they thought of. So all the people who were saying Russia's not a big deal, now Russia's the number one fucking threat. At the same fucking time, it is Putt, right? And when Putt is a guy who it's empire. It's naked fucking empire. That's the best way to describe the difference between you and me. And what I mean by you is the people who are going to be going, oh, you have the right to talk about Putin when you were saying blah, 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 blah. And I'm talking about someone with a fucking syringe in their fucking Twitter bio that now got replaced with the fucking Ukraine flag. Oh, here's the difference between you and me. Okay, I'm a Polak. Okay, I'm a Polak. That's why this shit fucking matters to me. Okay, you're part of the. Listen, I'm with you. I'm part of the American empire too, but you're just a puppet for the American fucking empire. Okay, there's empires and there's nations. Okay, Poland is one of my nations. My nations are New York, Ireland, and fucking Poland, because that's my people. Okay, if I'm in fucking Botswana. And I hear somebody with a Long Island accent, it's a New York metro area, okay, North Jersey, to distinguish from South Jersey, because it's like, hey, you want a hoagie? Be like, hey, somebody from fucking Philly, and not my nation, but hey, respect, But it's not like my heart doesn't melt, okay? If I hear somebody with like a Queens accent in Botswana, I'll be like, oh, one of my people's here, okay? But the people of Botswana are my people too. Because they're a nation as well. But I don't even know. Actually, what's because with a lot of these African countries, there's a lot of tribes. Like, there's no one thing. It's not like, Polish, even though there's flavors of Polish too. There's all like these little offshoot mini Polish people kind of thing going on too. And then there's but by and large, it's like fucking Polish is the thing. Okay, Botswana, I don't know if it's the same thing. But Botswana is be my people. Or the tribes in Botswana are my people too, because they're the nation, and the tribe is a nation, and all that kind of stuff. Nations are usually always good. Okay, more or at least more good than not. Okay, because when you have a nation, it's like, okay, that means we have we have a way of eating, we got music, we got clothes, we have this culture. Hey, that's one of ours. Hey, let's help each other out, kind of, sort of. I know it always ends up being a fucking disaster when you actually build a government around it, and then there's all bullshit, bureaucracy, blah, blah, blah. But the idea is, hey, we look out for one another. Okay, United States is not a fucking nation. Okay, I'm a passport carrying whatever United States thing. It's not a nation, it's an empire. Or at least it's the fucking seat of, like, the Western fucking empire. Okay, empires are usually bad. And by that I mean that there's, like, the point is, it's a race to the fucking bottom. And with empires, it's always, like, you have to pick which one's, like, less bad. Whereas nations is kind of like I said, there's room to be good and all this kind of stuff. Now, nations can be fucked up and start fucking, executing and genociding other nations, but then that's empire shit. See, now it moves from nation into empire shit of like, okay, now we need to fucking, expand our, our business into other here, and now you work for me. Now you're my slave, okay? So that's no bueno. That's no bueno. But yes, and here's the shitty thing, okay? As much as I'm shitting on empire, right? It's like there's nothing else, okay? There's nothing else. That's the thing. That's the way unfortunately you zoom the fuck out. That's the way the world really works on top, because there's no fucking global fucking government. There's like the UN. But the UN is like standing here like with all these kind of shit. Talk about like people like, oh, when this shit happened, they're like, oh, it's a violation of international law. Yeah, where the fuck did we hear that one before? How many times have we heard that over the past 50 fucking years? In Palestine. And what do they go? Hey, and then that was that. That was all she fucking wrote. So there's no real global government. And then the point is, if there is a global government in the way, it's like Russia has a seat there. So it's like the maximum thing is empires. So we got empires or whatever the fuck, and that's how the world is split. So you have this Western empire, American empire, whatever. And like I said, because America's not a nation. Don't try to tell me America's a nation. And if you do, I need you to be able to fucking put like a police lineup together of people like from like the north of Minnesota and people like 100 miles north of that in fucking Canada. And you be able to fucking call out who's who. I fucking dare you. Okay? I also need you to get like a control group or whatever. You're gonna have somebody from you're gonna have Stephen King, somebody from fucking Maine, somebody from the barrio in LA. You're gonna have somebody from Hawaii, like an ethnic Hawaiian. You're gonna have somebody from like a Native American tribe thing, reservation out west. You're gonna have somebody from the hood in New Orleans. You're gonna have me, and you're gonna have all these, and you're gonna sit them down. You're gonna like, what makes you all American? Okay, and I guarantee you the answers that everyone that weaves everybody together is no different from what you would say from, like I said, somebody in Canada or somebody in England or whatever. Like mild fucking differences in, they have this channel, we have that channel. That's not enough. I'm talking about nationship. I'm talking about the thousands and thousands of years, or at least hundreds of years. Okay, and New York is like, what, 400 years? But you know what? It's 400 years a collection of things that have gone back for fucking thousands of years. And they're all mishmashing together. Now it's its own thing. That doesn't mean it's a crock of shit. I'm not saying whatever. Out of the empires, America is still the best one until we found Desy Empire, which is what we'll get to at the end of this episode. Let me just write that down. Okay? The Desy Empire. Because that's really where all roads converge to that. All roads lead to that. Okay? So, but before this is the American Empire. So when you come out at me and say, oh, you don't have the right to say Putt should go fuck himself, because you were all out here saying, oh, Russia wasn't a big deal. Oh, fuck it, a year ago. And it's like, again, you're bootlicking because like the whole thing is, and the truth is, it's all such a mess because I hear the other shit now too, and I go online and I see all these people who like, the people putting fire emojis next to Putin saying Putin isn't playing around. This is before he actually fucking invaded. They're putting fire emojis next to Putin saying Putin's not playing around, haha, because they're people who just fucking like absolutely hate America, and then it's like, oh, so because America invaded literally every country on the fucking planet, it's like, but that means that's it. So that means that there's nothing like that. This guy could fucking do whatever the fuck he wants, and just because America fucked up, it's like, so you're just choosing that empire. You're just choosing a different empire. Congratulations. Okay? You're just blowing some other empire. I don't blow empires. That's the whole thing. If we got to deal with them, we got to deal with them. And that's the nature of reality. We got to deal with them. Because that's still, like I said, the top thing. Okay? Ukraine wants to be Ukraine, do Ukraine things. And is that 100? Are they 100% peachy? No. Are they turn away now African people at the fucking border? And is there violence? Yeah. So none of all this shit is fucking peachy. Okay? It's not all like, they got corruption, all this kind of shit. But by and large, they're just trying to be their own nation. The idea is like they're trying to do nation shit. You know, Ireland, same thing. Poland, same thing. New York, same thing. But it's like they're all under the thing of like empires. So you can only do so much. So the great thing about the Western Empire, to their credit, is that they generally let at least some nations fucking be nations. And then if the nation decides they want to do something different, then they go fucking invade them, right? But the idea is like, you by and large, because like look, I put that shit in the corner. Like I guess I can't go to fucking Russia now. I'm praying maybe just anonymity helps me. So like I don't fucking know this guy, but then it's all digital. Okay, so they can always like they can pull up my file and they're gonna see in the corner that it says Putin's is a dickhead. Okay, and then I'm gonna be put in his fucking gulags. This is why we need to build our gulags first. Okay, to beat him. But I'm not blowing the American empire. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Okay, this whole thing, it is what it is. And the truth, and so like, but like I said, then the other people are saying, oh, yo, Putin just wants this. He just wants the thing. He wants the his pipes and whatever and all this. And that's another fucking thing. That's another kind of thing I'm talking about. So like there's only a certain amount of people who should be allowed to put the flag up like this. Okay, and like I said, if it's replacing a fucking syringe in your bio, you shouldn't be allowed. Okay, no Ukrainian flag for you. Okay, I seen the stadiums. They did some German fucking stadium, and they lit their whole shit in the Ukrainian flag. It's like, congratulations. You know what that's powered with? It's powered with fucking Russian natural gas. So it's like the Ukrainian flag, a cheap fucking gesture. We're not gonna fucking, take them off a SWIFT or do anything significant, or whatever they were trying to do. We're not gonna join this discussion, but what we'll do? We'll do a ceremonial bullshit thing that's not gonna change anything. And not only is it not gonna change anything, we're paying the Russians to fucking do it. So congratulations. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Now Germany is a nation, but that's not this is some bank. Again, some arena named after a bank. This is why we want to get Des Arena off the ground too. So when there's a Des Arena, we'll do the same shit. But you know what it's gonna be? We're gonna pay for Desy's natural gas, okay? The money's gonna be going in my wallet, okay? But before we get there, okay? So this is just I don't know if I address that fucking class. So you're gonna see here. Here's the clip, okay? Here's the clip. Desy's Russia removal service for Russia Gators at MSNBC and across the fucking United States. For people who as of 10-15 years ago would have like looked at a picture of like Joe McCarthy and fucking puked. But now it's like, it's infiltrated our fucking thing. It has it. And these people are well-to-do. Because if they weren't well-to-do, they'd be worrying about all this other shit. Nobody is fucking struggling in America and going, yeah, things are really fucked up right now. But you know what really bothers me more than that is like Russia. I'm sure that go down to the hood and ask them about Russia. Go down to the hood and ask about terrorists. I don't think they give a fuck. I think they got their hands full. Now, that's the shit. So that's what I'm saying. So I hear everybody saying, "Oh, you downplayed Russia as a threat." Listen, again, we're not in it for the same reasons. I was right. Okay, I was right because you have assholes who go way over the fucking top just because that's what they're told. Like I said, by MSNBC or whatever, they say, "Oh, this is the enemy. This is the enemy because he hacked the election." Blah 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 blah. It couldn't just be that the party was a crock of shit and that this system of government sucks. Because why? And here's the fucking thing. Why? Because it's serving the empire. It's saying, oh, we need this and we need that because power in China and blah, 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 blah. And then all the fucking money goes up there and it gets drained from the fucking, the towns and shit in America. And then the towns don't have anything because their shit has been fucking drained. So they have nothing to fucking cling to because their life sucks. And so what do they cling to? They say, oh, well, America, because America's great. And now the cycle fucking repeats itself because now America's fucking great again. You gotta dump fucking money into that shit because to keep the military, blah, blah, and America the empire because there's an empire, not a nation. And then because they do that, then the money gets drained and it's the fucking cycle continues. This is a great fucking racket. This is why we're talking about empire shit. Des Empire is gonna fucking happen for this reason. It's just a great way of running things, you know, in terms of like, you know, money going up and not back down or whatever. So I'll double down. Okay, yes, I double down. Keith Olbermann and fucking Russia's scum and pigs. No, you're a scum and a pig. Okay, there's groups of people. The Russian people are not at fucking fault here. They just have this fucking bouncer, because that's what he is. He's a bouncer. He's a former fucking bouncer. And then the other guy was a fucking alkie, okay? Couldn't stand straight. And then just, you know, tipped over one too many times and they're like, right, he's not fit for office anymore. Get the fucking bouncer in here. And the bouncer's like, we'll just have the bouncer in. We'll transition to somebody else. Okay? But meanwhile, the bouncer learned while he was in there, like, oh, I could just fucking throw this guy in jail, take all his money, and I could tell the press, hey, you say something about me, I'm going to poison your fucking sushi. Okay? So that's what he started doing. And now, lo and behold, now you have fucking 25 years, or coming up on 25 years of Putt. And so, like, does Putt, is it about the gas thing? And the people are like, oh, you just give them the gas pipeline and you think, and you back off with NATO. It's not gonna be, people are like, yeah, oh, keep Ukraine a neutral fucking state. Yeah, because he's not gonna try to make a fucking satellite state out of that. Like, what, like, nobody knows what this guy wants. Okay, it's like everybody else. Some people are just saying that he wants to just take over the fucking world. Like again, because they can't for a second think, oh yeah, you know, maybe America was pushing or NATO or whatever was pushing things up. So it's valid on both sides, but you can't reason with somebody like Putt. Putt is out on his own fucking plane. But the idea is he's that, and then the Russian people are the Russian people. Okay, so this idea you're gonna censor yourself from saying fucking blintz. Right, because this one fucking guy, and because he started playing the puppet games on Facebook, which he fucking did, and again, because it's empire shit. We're talking about empire shit. His empire attacked your empire, and now you're butthurt. Okay, and you didn't get the result you wanted. You didn't get the emperor you wanted. Boo fucking who? I just, you know what, again, like I said, empire is the way that things run, and I'm going to have my own. In the meantime, am I going to, is the American, Western, whatever the fuck you want to call it, empire better than the other ones? Yes. Okay, it is. Mildly. Very mildly. Does that mean I'm going to fucking forgive its sins and not say anything? And well, no, I'm not. But I'm also not going to fucking root for this shit. Okay, I'm not going to root for this shit. Did I clarify that up? No. Okay, the point was, that shit, the whole Russiagate shit, I stand by it. I stand by it. And if you can't do the loop-de-loop and connect the dots of how I could put that shit in the top corner. Again, as a Polak, because, you know, Ukraine, it could have just been us. It could have just been, and that's what I'm saying. When people are like, oh, just give him what he wants with the pipeline and he'll leave us alone. Oh, no, he fucking won't. Okay, do you have a history book? This is Russia we're talking about. He wants to bring the history book back. Okay, and he's saying this and that and this and that. You know, and poor old Ukraine, the difference between Ukraine and Poland is that they weren't, there's no fucking guarantee. What is it? The 5 thing when NATO thing where it's like if they attack, whatever it is. But I'm done with this. Okay, I've cleared the air. I'm not backing down from that. That was so we're starting out Desy does penance by not doing penance. Okay, so that's the area about that. If you don't like that, go fuck yourself. All right, now here are the things that were kind of weighing on my Catholic conscience that I wish I would have phrased differently, whatever. Okay, or things that I just misspoke on. Okay, I gotta apologize twice to the Jewish people. Okay, because they're 2 separate things. It's 2 separate episodes. Okay, first one in the Yang one, I didn't. Here's what I said. Okay, and you can play the clip. Okay, so the Bloomberg thing was actually right because he's listening to the Bloomberg people now, who are saying you got to go out and do this thing. So what do you look? Are you looking for the Jewish vote? Because I got news for you. You just lost the whole fucking Jewish vote. Because surprise to you, most Jewish people that I fucking know at least have 2 fucking eyes, can see for themselves, and at the very fucking least will say, yeah, you know what? It's a little fucked up. It's a little fucked up the way it's going right now. So here, the fuck up there was that obviously it's not the whole. I said you just lost the whole Jewish vote, which is not fucking true. Okay, it's just not a fact. What I was trying to say is it's not as fucking clean cut as it used to be. It's not like, oh, everybody, you know, if you're Jewish, you automatically fucking, you know, like you automatically believe that Israel is great and then that means that everything else can go fuck itself, blah, 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 blah. But that's what I'm saying, is that like you're playing off like 90s data because maybe in the past it was more fucking like that, but now people are kind of, you know, it's a bit more split. Maybe it still leans one way or the other. I don't know. I'd say the younger you go, probably the more split it is. I don't know. All I was trying to say is there's more perspectives on this than just the one. That's all I was trying to say. But I said the whole. and that's not just not accurate. It's just not fucking accurate. And then there's the other bit where I was kind of like saying, oh, the Bloomberg people. I can see people say, oh, is that like a fucking whistle or what is it called, like a dog whistle, or whatever? Saying, oh, he's implying that who's those people? It's like no, because it was actually the Bloomberg guy. The guy fucking worked for Bloomberg. It wasn't like those Bloomberg type people, you know them. It was like, no, the guy who fucking actually fucking worked for Bloomberg. It could have been de Blasio, could have been with Julia, whatever. I'm saying the critique wasn't that it was, you know, like a guy whose last name is Bloomberg. It was like that he worked in that fucking politics thing, and it's like everything's a fucking pie chart. It's like, oh, these people are this, and how do we position this, and how do we win this, and how do we target this, and that's all a load of shit. That's what I'm saying. I guess maybe you have to do it if you run. Again, maybe we'll learn when we run for mayor and all this shit. Maybe it's just something that has to be fucking done. But you know. That wasn't the intention. The intention was it was actually the Bloomberg guy. But I misspoke. That was the one thing because I said he lost the whole Jewish vote. He didn't lose the whole. It wasn't the whole Jew. It's a split. It's a contentious fucking issue. And I made clear it was a fucking contentious issue. All right. So then the other thing is I said in this episode, we'll play this right here. Heavily fucking guarded. He's got to have drones and be hearing the fucking air sirens. Don't worry, we're all good. It's just it's the sundown. It's on a Friday, sundown. Time to hopefully everybody shut their lights off because otherwise you're gonna have to ask a Gentile to do it for you. It's happened to me on certain occasions. Which is kind of like, it's like like with all these things like that, and it's not because it's specifically like Jewish. It's just things in general. If it was like Chris, like the whole shit of like like the Good Friday, you can't have this. Like Jesus was apparently a fucking dietitian, and it's just like a phrasing thing. Why I say it's like it's like it's not specifically because it's Jewish. That makes it sound like that's a legitimate reason. Like it's like I don't like that because it's Jewish. It's like when I say it's not specific. What I was trying to say was it's not limited to Judaism. It's like it's a religious thing that's not exclusive to that. So I was criticizing all of the religion thing. So it's like basically saying religions are stupid because of this, and it was the Jewish one that put me in there. But the way I said it is kind of like, it's not specifically because of Jewish. It's like, that means that's like a legitimate reason not to like it. And that wasn't the fucking point. So I that's a misspeak too. All right. So that one's out. We got that out the way. What else we got here? Okay, the big fucking one. We got a big one. All right. This is the only edit Desy's ever fucking made. Okay, is season 8. We're talking about Sherry's baby mattress. Maybe you just got high and wanted to buy a fucking baby mattress. Maybe you just did a barrel full of crystal meth, and that was you saw, Muhammad. I was gonna say Muhammad. Now I'm gonna get fucking slaughtered. I'm sorry, but I didn't draw him. You saw the prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, coming down from the hill saying, go and buy a fucking baby mattress. And you're like, why are you swearing, dude? That's very out of character. Because it's not actually him. That's the point. It's just a hallucination. Okay, and I knew from the minute. But listen, the problem with shooting from the hip is you just gotta go with it. Okay, so if I was Marlon Brando, Dan Aykroyd, Susan Sarandon, Julianne Moore. Those are 4 people. They're in a fucking a play about a bakery. Okay, a bakery that's on fire in fucking the Central African Republic. Why are they there? They were doing humanitarian work for the New York City Aquarium. Why were they doing humanitarian work for an aquarium in a landlocked country? God fucking knows. Okay? The point is, I just pulled those random details out of my ass. Okay? And now it's a salad of that. It's a salad of Dan Aykroyd and fucking aquarium research in the fucking desert. Okay? It's just what it is. And so now we just had to go with it. So like even there, I'm like, I got bored and sick of that 5 seconds into it. But you know what? We started, we gotta finish it. Okay, we gotta finish it. So much like that, it's like when I was saying you gotta take a barrel of crystal meth, and Muhammad was the first thing that popped in my fucking head. And then you could see in my head, I'm like, okay, now you gotta fucking do it, because it's just what it is. I could do a Yui, but it's like, we're fucking here. We're here. And speaking of fucking here, that's all it is. I was like, hey, it was like, hey, fucking guy. It's like, how I see, go back and watch any of these things, and I say, hey, fucking Kevin, fucking Joe. Obviously, it's not Kevin or Joe. It's the big cheese in the Islamic faith. Okay, and I don't think they're as thinking about the cursing within the name and thing as much as they are the painting the guy. Like, and I said I didn't paint them, and I'm out here trying to break the rules to be. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm also not trying to bend the knee for some fucking lunatic. Okay, so this is not because some lunatic might come take my head off with the fucking cleaving knife or whatever the fuck they call it, like the one guy in France. Okay, and I'm not here saying please don't, because I know it's coming, whatever. And you have to sort your fucking self out if that's what you're doing, because it's clearly, like maybe I think you're misinterpreting the fucking word of God. Okay, but I will say, by and large, that I wasn't trying to say like, oh, let me ruffle these guys' feathers because their whole thing is bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. Is there bullshit in Islam like there is in every other fucking religion? Absolutely, there's piles of it. But you know what? I'm not a card-carrying member. That's the one difference. The one reason I don't feel as bad saying, oh, fucking Jesus. And I said fucking Jesus. And you know what? Jesus, if he came back, if he saw me do that, would he be impressed? Would he be all as forgiven? Probably. But he'd also be like, really, dude? He'd be like, really? Do you have to? That's what he would say. He wouldn't be like, you must, and blah, blah, blah. And he also wouldn't be like, oh, it's that. He'd be like, really? He'd be like, really, dude? And I'd be like, I know, you're right. I should be better. You're 100% right. I should be. You're right. I'm wrong. And I'm not even being fucking sarcastic. But it is what it is. And I just say fucking G. And the reason, like I said, I think I can get away with this because I'm a card-carrying member. Okay, I avoided pedophilia. Okay, I did fucking all the altar boy shit. And I did all that kind of stuff. I feel like I deserve. And if I say that I'm not part of that anymore, then the only people that are left inside that shit are the fucking lunatics. Okay, and we gotta keep some people with their head on their shoulders in this. So I'm always gonna be a fucking Catholic, even though I'm open to and exploring all the religions because we have the internet. It's all there. So why not fucking learn? So when I was doing a thing and when I dropped the F-bomb around Muhammad's name, which again, it was not an intentional diss. It wasn't like that. It was like A, we're just continuing the thing, and B, it was like A, fucking. But I still should have watched my mouth. And it was not a dig at Muslims because the truth is, you know what? I think about this all the fucking, and this is the whole thing. It's like people in like going back to the West, people go like, oh, these people need to. It's like, have you ever fucking? It's like, you might be fucking right, but have you ever once thought about, hey, why is my life shit? Why is my life so fucking hollow? These guys, you know what they say? It's a bit more intense. And I don't, again, the whole thing with the laughing, it's like, you can only laugh if it's Muhammad approved. That's all that's just like, I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, apart from all that, and then they do like the bathroom hokey pokey. Like all those kind of rules and shit. Like you can't eat the pig, and you do the bathroom hokey pokey. Okay, you gotta go with the left foot in, and then you take the right foot out, and the right hand in the bath. And there's all these rules, and all the rules are silly. This is like superstition. And again, it's not because it's Islam in particular. So we talk back to what we were saying with the Jew. It's not. Okay, let me rephrase that again. Because we had to just apologize that for 5 seconds. When I get to apologize, okay. It's not limited to just Islam. This is the entire religion. Because the religion thing is, the reason religion exists, because it's like, that's the big thing, is God. Okay? You get in touch with God, which is the truth that's beyond everything else. Okay? So sometimes it's just you and God on this planet. That's all it is. And God being like all the universe and everything there and all that stuff. And so sometimes it's you and him. So sometimes you know the fucking truth, and everybody else is saying, kill that guy because he's a fucking whatever. And you're like, you know what? I have to fucking, and what gives you the right to say it? God does. Okay, and that's tricky because that means that you're interpreting God in a certain way and blah, blah, blah. And that means that if God's the thing in your head, then he can greenlight whatever the fuck you do. And then, it's all greenlit because of God. And then it's like, well, but that's not what it was. So it's where it gets all fucking tricky. But the point is that there's something there that's bigger than everything else. And you want to try to, and if that's the truth, if everything else goes to shit, if it's like, okay, yeah, you're never gonna have enough of the stuff to make you happy. You're never gonna have enough food or, excess this and that to make you happy. So what's the only fucking thing that's left is that. So if that's the main fucking thing in your life, yeah, maybe most of your life should wrap around that. Okay? How that's gonna clash with the bullshit part of saying, okay, yeah, but does that fucking mean like we have to wear 2 different color shoes and, sleep upside down on Tuesdays? It's like, that's the part we have to fucking figure out. And like I said, but again, because I'm not a card-carrying member, that it's like my main duty, number one, is to sort out within my shit. So, let me poke my own eye out before I start poking other people's eyes out. Okay, but I hope that clears the air with that. That was not, again, we're for all people being shat on equally. But that is part of the equation. You do have to come in here and say you're willing to be shat on. Okay, yeah, that's part of the thing. We're not trying to antagonize entire groups of people, and we're also trying to honestly just look out for my ass so that I can have a couple more episodes in here before I get fucking burnt at the stake. Okay, by whoever it is, by whichever group gets to me first. But we all want to at least make the end of the compilation and beat nuclear fucking war, blowing us all up before any of that stuff. But whatever. Salam alaikum to everybody and all that shit. Peace and love, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so there's that. All right, so we check that off. What else we got? I'm missing something. I'm missing some stuff. We did the Russia thing. We did that thing. There's got to be some. Oh, the Rock. I got something to say about the Rock, okay? I'll interpret it as my God-given duty to fucking, not take him out. I'm not trying to. I don't care. He's probably got kids, whatever. We're not getting violent. But just to say I'll be like the God, the Jesus thing. I will take the blame. And again, it's just the way the phrasing. It was the fucking phrasing of the way I said the thing and phrased it. Okay, I said it's my God. It's talking about God and talking about doing God's will. I said it's my God-given duty, and I said not to take him out. I said we're not taking him out, we're not getting violent, which is that's what I was trying to say. It was like we're not gonna do the way I should have said it. Like now, I should have said it like this. I should have said, now look, we're not doing anything fucking violent or stupid. Let's get that out of your mind. Like see that now, and that makes more sense. But the way it's like, I kind of can say, I'm like, oh, not take him. Like they even just fucking bring it up, you know. Like I said, he's got kids, he's got a family, and like I know I was saying not to do that, but even the way that it was said, it was dumb to it was dumb to say. It was dumb to just bring that out like that, because then it's like again, like that's again like a legitimate option on tape. It's not a legitimate option. It's not a legitimate option, and I can't do it. I also made very clear to the whole thing. I can't fucking do. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? There's nothing I could do to harm that man. That man, again, like I said, could turn me into forget fucking powder. That dude could turn me into a gas. Okay, my fucking molecules could just be floating into the fucking ether after 2 seconds of him like rubbing his hands together. That's it. Okay, so I couldn't if I tried. But even the fact that like I somewhat, and even though I said I wasn't doing it, the fact that I put it on the table, I didn't like it. It sat on my conscience. So I apologize for that, Rock. I'm not. Another point, an extension of my apology. I also trashed the fucking Rock song. But I meant to trash his fucking dog shit verse. His verse is still dog shit. I don't care if I just took that back, whatever. Doesn't mean we're friends. Okay? Shit still sucks. And everything else still stands. I stand by everything else in that fucking episode, except the fact that I said the song sucks. Because the song's actually a bit of a bop. And the song's a bit of a bop because because it's not really a rock star. He's just featured on the thing. Tech9 is the guy. And I fucking respect this. I like this guy, Tech9. I like this guy, Tech9, because we're shitting on rappers in that episode too. We say everybody just thinks they're a rapper, and they go, and I go, what is it? This guy actually has fucking he spits bars. He just spits bars, and what I like about him is he's independent. He does his own fucking thing. Radios won't touch him. All these guys won't touch him. He doesn't give a shit. He spent all these fucking years putting himself a fucking outfit. He has like a whole thing. He's got a studio, and where is it? Then he's like, oh, I have to go to LA to suck dick. I have to go to New York City. No, he said, you motherfuckers are coming to Kansas City, where I'm fucking from. All right, that's how he played he did Terrence Crawford style. We're going to Omaha, you know? Bring it to Kansas City. I respect that. I got respect. So he's got bars. He does it the independent way. And you know, if anyone's going to catch clout from all this shit, I'm glad that he fucking caught it. And he brought on these other guys too. I don't have their names. You know what? Just to do them the honor. This is not coming up on the screen, right? Okay, so I can look this up. I'm going to get these, because these guys actually had a good verse too. All right, these guys got skills too. All right, Face Off, I think is the name of the song, right? Face Off song. To Joey Cool, King ISO. All right, that was not meant to trash those guys out there. You guys keep doing your thing. Okay, again, independent. I always support people trying to do independent shit. So you got caught in the crosshairs of my fucking despising The Rock, and I still despise her. And it's also kind of like, okay, here's the. We're gonna start this thing called the Desy Doghouse. Okay, and this is gonna be the Rock song is gonna be how we determine the first couple members of the Desy Doghouse. And I have so let me write this down because I have a couple people that need to go in the Desy Doghouse. Okay, but okay, so the first three people in the Desy Doghouse will be Tech9, Joey Cool, and King ISO. And what this Desy Doghouse is, will eventually go into the Desy Gulags. When the Desy Gulags come out. Another thing, maybe I should apologize for Desy Gulag in this case. No, I'm not going back on that, and I'll try to get that around to that. This is supposed to be half an hour. I'm already fucking sailing over. I'm already sailing over because I can't stop talking. I could never stop talking, and it's a fucking problem. But anyway, the Desy Doghouse will lead into the Des Gulag because the idea is, okay, you're in the doghouse, so you're someone who's walking up the planet free because I like you, or you just generally you didn't bother me. And now, you know, you're under my good graces, and then you committed a sin, and whatever. You're a human being, you committed a sin. You're just gonna have to do my taxes or something. You know, like you're gonna have to go into the Desy Gulag for a little bit. But we don't have the infrastructure yet for Desy Gulag. We have to talk to some of these, you know, corporate American companies who can really get us in on the whole prison thing first, and then corner that more, and then, you know what I mean? And then slowly but surely, Desy Gulags, okay? But before we have that, I have the Desy Doghouse. So you're in there, you're just in the Desy Doghouse for like whatever it is, week, 2 weeks. So these guys will be in the Desy Doghouse for doing a song with The Rock, who I'm fucking sick and tired of. But you know what? At the same time, I don't think they give a shit because they all caught a bunch of clout for it, and that's the fucking way to do it. If you could pass some of that clout on to me, because I was basically trying to do the same thing. Who's trying to kid who? Do I really hate The Rock? Yes, I do. Do I also want half his fucking clout? Would I fight him in a celebrity boxing? Would I fucking get killed? Because that's inevitable death. Maybe his punching thing isn't as strong. Maybe he's, but if, whatever it is, I'd fight that guy, judo, whatever. Oh, it's wrestler. He's a fucking wrestler. Duh, Des. How about a fucking wrestler? But in a real wrestling match, because that shit was fake too. But he could probably take me in a real match. Again, would I risk death? I'd have to have some things in the stipulations in the fucking contract. Okay, things that he can't. So I'll try to try to get myself, keep myself as alive as possible. But it depends on what kind of clout am I getting. Like if we have the thing and I get like 100 million followers based on that, bring on the fucking Rock. Bring on the pain. I might even shock everybody and do like I said, the Jesus defense when I was talking about Super Smash Bros. I might just put my hands behind my head and just do one of these, turn the other fucking cheek. All right, but as long as I get the fucking clout and the build up, and I have a chance, we do a press conference, I can throw some fucking liquids and say, and your shit sucks and your movies suck and blah 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 blah, and then this thing. I just want to get the clout. I just want the thing because then I need to make Desy Gulags happen. Okay, and then the Desy Gulags is going to be the symbol of the American Empire. Okay, can we talk about the Desy? The American Empire, the Des Empire. Can we get to Des Empire? Is there anything else I have to fucking atone for? What else? Okay, 9. What happened in 10? What did I say? Anything? I'll probably think of something else. I definitely have fucked up more. But is there anything else that's sitting on my fucking conscience? Think. Yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead. Just while I'm recording this shit, please. Anybody else? Anybody else want to have a heart attack in the next 5 fucking blocks? Is there? There's got to be something else. I'm gonna think of it. Okay, so we'll do. Well, listen. Okay, that's all for Desy Does Penance episode 1. Okay, that's it for Desy Does. That's it. And I'll figure out what the penance is. Okay, because I got other shit. I got shit now. I gotta promote myself. Okay, so that was me doing a PR cleanse and a soul cleanse, but really just a PR cleanse. But also, like I said, also getting things off my chest. Okay, now I need to get on to the big things. Okay, so Desy Doghouse. Okay, another thing about the Desy Doghouse. So. Another person in Desy Doghouse is Mia Khalifa, another person with a lot of clout, okay? And I thought she was cool because she's like, she speaks her minds about shit, she just doesn't, and she's got a cool attitude. She's like, keep it real, people. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this happened, and this is how I think about shit and whatever. West Ham fan, all this kind of stuff. She sang the Rock song, okay? But if she sang Joey ISO's verse, who we got? Joey Cool, King ISO, Tech Night, Tent 9, any of these verses she sang that, you should be fine. But no, she's mouthing along to the verse from The Rock. So guess what? Into the Desy Doghouse you go. Okay, into the Desy Doghouse you go. Not that she fucking knows me, not that she's ever gonna fucking see this. But if you do, from the time that you see this, if she ever does, and then I guess until she doesn't, it's like if a tree falls in the forest, does it fucking matter? All this kind of shit. So until the time when you see this, you're in the Desy Doghouse for a fucking week. Okay, another person in the Desy Doghouse is the Weeknd. Speaking of the Weeknd. Okay, the Weeknd. Okay, the Weeknd Desy Doghouse. Now, somebody asked me recently. I got this little book called If, and it has all these things of like if you could this, which maybe we'll do an episode of that on air. It'll be the Desy If episode, and I'll give you all the fucking answers. We'll say, hey, if you could have someone's face tattooed on your ass cheek, who would it be? And the obvious answers like would it be fucking Maury? Would it be whoever it is? Jerry Springer. Jerry, would you have like all these? I would, if whatever the answer was that I thought of, I would fucking tell you, and I would no secrets. Okay. But in this thing, it's like, oh, if you could be anybody on the planet right now. And you know what I was thinking? I'm like, this guy sings about fucking pain and suffering a lot. But in spite of all that, I don't know what is. He seems like he's either Zen or he sings about doing a lot of drugs too. So is he Zen in a good place? Is he high? I don't know. All that shit aside, I think more than anybody on the planet would be that guy. Okay, he's fucking just killing it. He's killing it in all aspects of the game. Okay, he's not just putting dog shit out there and saying, hey, this is gonna make me famous, right? I'm doing the bare minimum. No, he does the max. He takes it to the limit. He's got fucking talent. This guy does it all, okay? And he dropped this new thing and he's got bars and then the whole thing, it's a bop. It's bop after bop after bop. But he did his thing, his whole thing on Amazon Prime. Okay, Beez's Prime. It's the Weeknd feature in Beez's Prime. So I'm sorry, it's the Weeknd. You can be the guy that I fucking, if I wake up tomorrow, I'd be the fucking Weeknd. But I'd wake up in the fucking Desy Doghouse. Okay, because you're in the doghouse for a week for doing the Amazon. That's just sin. Okay, so this is gonna be this is a good balance. Okay, so Desy Does Penance from now on could be like Desy Does Penance plus Desy puts people in the Desy Doghouse. So it's kind of like I'm a piece of shit. I'm a sinner. I'm gonna, like I said, poke my own eye out and then start poking everybody else's eye out. So that's who's in the Desy Doghouse for now, and that population is gonna grow exponentially. And like I said, so by the next time the Weeknd sees this, then from a week from there, you're in the Desy Doghouse, and then you're in the fucking clear. Okay, then you can walk the planet again. If there was a Desy Gulag, like I said, you would be in the Des Gulag for a week. You know, if I had to shovel a hole in the backyard to bury my pet gopher, you'd have to do that or some shit like that. Or do it, like I said, do a concert for me and whatever. And then back out into freedom you go. Okay? So that's what that is. Okay? So and that's who's in the Desi Doghouse for now. Again, we'll come up with more people for that. Okay, Desi Empire. The Des Empire. Talk about what we were talking about before. If Empire is the highest level of shit, if everything has to pass through the Empire. All right. If everybody wants to have nice little nations for themselves. Everybody doing whatever they want to do, and people, having some nice little puddings amongst themselves. Like, oh, you this cake for this cake, I'll give you this cake. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, everyone wants to have the culture. You do dance wearing this dress. And then it's like cultures can appreciate themselves, and that's beautiful and that's great. And you have nuclear fucking empires, okay? And that's just the way this shit works, okay? And the other alternative to that is like some fucking Terminator ass global fucking government, okay? And then everybody fucking suffers. So until we come up with a better fucking solution for that, there's gonna be these goals. The thing that really ties everything together, because we were saying Des Conglomerate is what ties everything together, but really what ties everything, we're gonna start our own empire. Okay, that's really where this is building. And I'm like I said, at this point, it's out in the open, so you can't just take it back and say, we're doing this secretly. It's only like I'm giving you the fucking the blueprint out in front. Okay, and you're gonna watch me grow into emperor. Okay, and we have many avenues of doing it. So, and one of the avenues is here. So now we're connecting all the dots, and this is how hopefully I'm gonna close this shit out because again I'm running way over time. One of the avenues to that is to be an artist. Okay, Desi is an artist. Okay, we talk about shit on this thing, and we conjure up all these images. Well, you know what? In order to help fucking drive these images into your head, we started making some fucking artworks. Like I said, Desi is the kind of artist who fucking does. Okay, I don't sit around and say, well, if only. It's like I just do it. I do it. What's the material? It's one of those whiteboard sheets thing, and it's a dry erase marker. Well, that's exactly what I fucking used. And look at what I made. Okay, so we got 2 Desi NFTs. The Desi Artiste Mode NFT collection is live. All right, this one here is, as promised, is fucking Columbus dancing with Beelzebub. Okay, here's a picture of my grandma, a picture of grandma, not my grandma, of grandma eating her own boogers in Austria in 1912. Because was my grandma alive in Austria in 1912? It depends on who the bidder is, okay? If the bidder bids $1 million fucking dollars, do you want it to be your grandma? I'll fucking change the country. It's a dry erase marker. I'll go back and change. I'll go back and change the fucking recording. I'll do whatever you want. I'll wear a fucking tutu while I do it, okay? And we'll record it at Desi OnlyFans, and I'll strip to the fucking nude out of my tutu and change the thing for you. If you got $1 million fucking dollars, it's not that much. Maybe it would have to be a larger amount than that, because we said $500 for the OnlyFans, and then sticking the hand up the asshole, right? But we're okay. So maybe 10. There's a price line for that. But if you listen, I'm not doing it for Bezos. If Bezos buys it, that's not gonna happen. Okay, I'd much rather literally just jump off a fucking bridge. Okay, but if you're somebody else who I don't know, and you say, hey, it's not Austria, it takes place in fucking Côte d'Ivoire. Okay, it takes place in Côte d'Ivoire, and is my in fucking 2027. So in the future, I'll be like, sure, here you go. Do you want me to wear a tutu while I do this? Okay. Do I have to? Does it mean you owe me? Do I have to go into your gulag now? Because I'm building gulag, and that's the thing. And if he starts doing some fuck shit, hopefully we get the Desi gulag together quickly enough. And there it is. And so then he goes into my gulag. And then it's like, we'll see who's really in charge. And thanks for the fucking $47 million, $110 million, whatever the price we set. It's whoever's grandma bids the top dollar, and it's all edible. But hey, listen, apart from that, go buy the NFT. Give me fucking money, okay? Because we're running out. Like I said, my number's always going to 0. And I'm just sitting in this fucking room like, what else can I do? Oh, let me just draw a fucking picture. So Columbus dancing with Beelzebub. That's number one. The other one, we animated the picture of Buzz Aldrin getting sent to space, okay? And so you got 3 things here. And they're like, oh, how did you learn to fucking speak Albanian? It's called Google Translate. Okay, I did Google. So we start off with this, as you can see, look, it says, should all acquaintance be forgot? That's his soliloquy, remember? Because he goes on a soliloquy because he did theater in high school, okay? He did Guys and Dolls in high school, and he auditioned, he came up with most of the speech. But his mistake was he didn't get it 100% right the first time, okay? And Buzz was half asleep. He caught the end of it, and then he ended up winning the sweepstakes. But before they could send Buzzy up there, he did before they could send Neil Armstrong up there to say his shit. It's like, no, we're gonna get there first, okay? Albania's gonna send me up there, okay? And this is just the picture now. So you have his start of his soliloquy, then you have the what he says, but we just plugged it into Google Translate, and then at the end he converts to Islam because that's what we said, because Albania is a Muslim country, and then he's got the little prayer rug, and so that's that, okay? And then that's the alternative vision of history, okay? And that's, like I said, the parallel to Columbus Day. I was gonna call it Columbus Day. That's what I was gonna call it. But then as you have Columbus dancing with Beelzebub, you have Columbus. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe everything has Columbus in the title, but I'm not gonna do that. All right, it's called it's called Buzz Aldrin's Moon Soliloquy, and it's available for fucking purchase. Okay, so fucking buy that shit. And I'm not even saying please buy it. I'm like, just you fucking buy it. Otherwise, you know, because I'll remember this fondly when I decide who goes into the gulag, who gets shot to Mars. Okay, so if you don't want to get shot to Mars and you don't want to go in the Desy gulag, buy my fucking NFT. Okay, it'll pay dividends later. It's like buying a stock. It's like buying a stock that saves your fucking life. It's like buying a robot that activates at a time when you need it the fucking most and saves your ass. Okay, so go ahead and do that. And I think that's all I got. I'm gonna shut this off and I'm gonna say I forgot to do this. I forgot to apologize because my list of sins is endless. Okay, if we really wanted to empty out how much Desy feels like shit about himself, you'd have to have at least 24 hours. Okay, I gotta go to sleep. Like I said, I gotta take a shower, I gotta eat some shit, and then, you know, so we don't have time for that. We don't have to actually. We don't have time for that like ever because Desy can get pretty down on himself. But I need to balance it out by saying, yeah, it's my fault. It's also your fault. So this is a great format. This is a good start for the format. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good start. We're gonna look back and we'll see what we missed. But that's Desy does penance for this week. And now here we go. So that's it. We've cleared the air on pretty much all the things I think I wanted to fucking clear the air on. Here come the episodes. That's how we're going to end this. The Desy experience now begins. Okay, and if you're like, oh, we're starting at number 12, well, yeah, you know what? Just fucking deal with it. We're Benjamin Buttoning this shit. We're going fucking backwards. And it might be 7, it might be 3, it might be 4, it might be 9, whatever. We might go in jagged order. And guess what? You're going to have to deal with it. Okay, because I'm putting all this shit together right now. I don't have my wage slaves yet. I don't have the Desy Gulag up and running. So for the meantime, it's all me. Okay, and I'm dodging technology killing me at all times. So, we're doing the best we could do. All right, so, but it starts now. Because I was clipping this, I'm like, I'm just going to give you the whole fucking thing. And then, so this also, because if nuclear war does start a lot sooner than we think, if Putt says, fuck it, that's it, it's me against the world, now China's not even in with me, guess what? Here we go, here come the nukes. And then they're going to send it to fucking New York. New York's going to blow up. And then, at least then, people in, just give me another fucking country. People in Kiribati will be able to look and say, hey, there was this fucking dude who got mutilated by the bomb they dropped. But hey, he was able, before he did that, he was able to get out this and that. And he said some insightful fucking things that will posthumously give him like a fucking title. They'll have a statue of me in fucking Kiribati. Made out of like, even though that the island's being fucking evacuated, right? They can't live there because of like global warming and shit. They're gonna be underwater in like 5-10 years. In Australia, it's like, I guess we'll have to fucking take you, blah blah blah, blah, right? But before the island gets washed away, I don't mean to fucking make light of that. So now that's gonna be the next Desy penance to fucking the Kiribati people for saying, oh haha, you're being. Oh, he wasn't saying haha, you're being on the water, but it's a fact. Okay, but before they get swept under the waves, they'll have a statue of me made with like fucking like chamomile leaves and shit, whatever, and it'll say whatever the language is. I don't want to embarrass their fucking language, but then they'll say the Desy, the whatever guy, and then maybe they'll see this video and say the opposite. They'll say he insulted my nation, so we're gonna burn him in effigy. Okay, burn him in effigy. So that's all I got for you. Buy my fucking NFTs. The Desy experience rolls on. And look, because we're going to just start dropping these fucking episodes like deuces. And whenever I feel like it, whenever I feel like I just need to take a nice shit, we're just going to drop it out in the ocean. Because I'm done saying this. I'm done sitting on this and saying, hey, well, will this, how quickly will this get me killed? 2 weeks, 2 years, 2 decades? What is it? I don't give a shit anymore. Nuclear war is like, like I said, we joke about this, but we don't really joke about this. Things are not looking good. So we need to get it out fast. Okay? That's what we're going to do.